mean, I really did well with Fury and better than anybody has. So take that and look at it and say that I'm one of the top guys for sure. But where I stand, it's hard to tell. But I definitely think that I'm one of the top guys, and I'm happy to be back fighting again and can't wait to show that. And then, you know, the champions are tied up with themselves and stuff. So we'll see when it's going to happen. But I feel like after the Fury fight, nobody would have to take criticism for fighting me. So they know that I'm good, hopefully, and that they will give me another shot. I know Fury, he's always calling out a lot of guys, but he never mentioned my name.
All right, thank you so much, and good.
Those are words of Otto Wallin. As Otto Wallin, you know, he laughs and he pretty much tells Tyson Fury, give me another shot. I feel that I've done better with you than a lot of people have in a very long time. And a lot of people just should know that I'm one of the top heavyweights because of the performance that I've done with Tyson Fury. And, you know, he says that Fury never mentions his name after that. He's always calling people out. He's always doing this, doing that. Your big doss of this, your big doss of that. But with Otto Wallin, you hear crickets, according to Otto Wallin. First off, let me counterpunch. Otto Wallin did a very good job fighting Tyson Fury, okay? He, to me, had put on a better performance than someone like Deontay Wilder did in his last performance, right? Definitely. So he has a point when compared to other fighters, especially top fighters like Deontay Wilder, right? He was a part of the big three mix, you know, Fury, Joshua, Wilder, right? So that's what Otto's saying. Like, hey, he doesn't mention my name. However, their performance, a lot of things in that fight happened to Tyson Fury. The events that happened, I think, what played a huge amount of performance. Now, Tyson Fury, he did beat Otto Wallin. Okay, a lot of people tried to say it was a run. No, it was not. Tyson Fury landed more. He landed the cleaner shots. It was just the cuts on Fury's face, okay, on the right side of his face were so severe to the point where they could have stopped it. And it happened early. It didn't happen later or in the middle. It happened at the very beginning. Round 2, he had those. So from 2 to 12, 10 rounds, he fought with this mess on his face. Okay? He looked bad. So that is what I think hindered Tyson Fury's performance a little bit. So the question you ask yourself, if he didn't have those cuts, would he have fought the same type of fight to Otto Wallin and perhaps get him out of there? That's the question you ask yourself. So it is very intriguing to hear or to see a possibility to see these guys fight again. Why not? Based on what I've heard, not what I know, because I haven't counterpunched that yet, Fury wants an opponent, right? We know that Fury wants an opponent. It doesn't have to necessarily be Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder is not ready, and it's not going to be Anthony Joshua because it can't be, and for whatever reason, Mauricio Sulaiman is not making Dillian Whyte and Tyson fight, which is retarded. That's another video. But knowing all we know because of those things that I mentioned, why not Otto Wallin? Same time in the year, why not? This time last year or later in the year, he was fighting Otto Wallin. You know, and a lot of people were on the edge of their seats because they were wondering, oh shit, what if this fight gets stopped because of those cuts? And Otto Wallin is landing good punches. And he's targeting that eye, mind you. It ain't the fact that he's just beating him up. No, he's targeting the eye because he knows, if I can get this eye this bad, this severe, they could stop the fight and I'd take all those cookies. Okay? And by the way, Otto Wallin was an undefeated fighter. Okay? Now, who did he beat worth mentioning? I don't see anyone, honestly. I don't see anyone because a lot of his fights were overseas. Okay? He's fighting Travis Kaufman, which Travis Kaufman was knocked out by Luis Ortiz in one of his last fights, I believe. and that was that. Or did he get knocked out? I know he got beat. I know he went down a couple times. I could be wrong. But he was defeated by Luis Ortiz, so let's say that. But if Tyson Fury wants a quote-unquote another opponent, Otto Wallin's available. Why not? Give this guy a chance. Show people that was a fluke. Show people that, hey, it was the cut that bothered me. That's why I couldn't focus on getting him out of there. I was focused more on scoring points and protecting my eye. Okay? So it could be a great build-up fight. Okay? And I don't think anybody, if that was going to happen, which for many reasons this fight shouldn't happen. But if someone is going to be picked, why not let it be? Why not Otto Wallin? Because Otto Wallin's been in there, went in there 12 rounds. Deontay couldn't do that. He went only 7. All right? And that's not all of a 7, so you can't really count 7. But he hung in there. He split Tyson Fury's face open, right? His eye open. And put up a good fight. So that would be the fight that, hey, people, that, especially Tyson Fury fans, those guys will give him all types of props going back in there with that type of fight. Hell, Deontay Wilder did it with Luis Ortiz, right? After he clearly knocked him out in the 10th round. But that was more a decisive victory for Wilder, not Tyson Fury. He didn't get any knockdowns. He didn't stop Otto Wallin, right? He just had a huge gash because it happened. Things happen in the sport of boxing, people. The sport that I love, that I hate so much. Spontaneous things do occur. So if Otto Wallin, hey, he's calling out Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury is going hush hush on Otto Wallin, I think Otto Wallin should get louder. Okay? But shout out to Fight Hype for making this video. You guys tell me what you think about Otto Wallin wanting a rematch against Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunching. Peace.